All right, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, and double honors. My teachers, the elders, and Apostle Green Millstone, peace. And many salutations to the elect. So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 19. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is the Lord of hosts, power of armies, Yahweh. Hashem Yahweh Shai is his name. All right. So Israel is the rod of the Most High's inheritance. Okay, I want to look at this word inheritance right quick. Inheritance. It says
Strong's H 5159. Nashala. Nashala.
Yeah, so the word means possession, property, inheritance, heritage. The word itself goes into fact of receiving by hereditary succession. All right, as that which may be inherited through one's blood or seed line. All right, to make heir, point as heir, active inheriting. It says to make someone an heir, to make heir attribute the right of inheritance. All right. To receive inheritance, get by succession from one's father. Transference from king to prince, prince to king. Transmitted in line of progeny. All right. Your pedigree, your seed line. So the Lord said what? Jeremiah 51 and 19, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. And with thee I'll break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee I'll break in pieces the chariot and his rider. And with thee I will also break in pieces the shepherd and his flock. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. And I will render unto Babylon and all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, said the Most High. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, said the Lord, which destroy all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. All right. So all of this for the children of Israel's sake, man. All of this for the for ones that the world deems as nothing, you know. But that's who the Lord loves. His portion is not like theirs. You know, for his portion is the children of Israel, his peace. Okay, out of all the nations of the earth, all right, his peace, his portion. He said, come, my children, inherit thou kingdom prepared for thee from the beginning, man. You know, that's what the Lord said to his men or his people when he came on the scene. Matthew 25, I believe. Matthew chapter 25. In verse 30, 31, it says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, Matthew 25:31, it says, and when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come, come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. If I was hungry and you gave me meat, and I was thirsty and you gave me drink, and I was strange, you took me in. Right? Come, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the beginning, from the foundation of the world. The Lord created the world for our sakes. Second Ezra 7 and verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? All right. For us to receive our inheritance, we had to pass through the danger, pass through the curses, pass through these crackers running us, these other nations, all these other nations. You had to pass through the fire, man. Had to pass through poverty, had to pass through Planned Parenthood, you know what I'm saying, and all that. Gang warfare, drugs, crack cocaine epidemics, Crown Vicky 19, all that shit, man. 10 verse. And I said, 2 Ezra 7 and 10, and I said, it is so, Lord, that he said unto me, even so is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed now is decreed that which is done. And then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. And there are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those things that are laid up for them. Yeah. You got to go through the straight and vain things of this world. You got to pay taxes. You got to be subject to payments. You got to go through diseases. You got to go through your family being messed up. You got to go through a dad that's messed up, a mama that's messed up. If you do have that, if you got to go through problems with your brothers, problems with your sisters, problems with yourself. You know what I mean? Your own bodily problems, your own mental problems. You know what I mean? You might have grown up without brothers, without sisters. You got to learn how to be a brother, how to be a sister. You got to learn how to be a better husband, a better wife, a father, a mother. That's how you got to go through this straight things, man. Okay. If they shall not enter in those straight things, straight and vain things, they can never receive those things that are laid up for them. You got to go through this life to understand how to govern the people in the next, how to live. Because when you go back to the garden, there was it was the serpent told Eve, the serpent told Eve that they will be as gods knowing both good and evil. So when you're a God knowing both good and evil, you got to go through the good and the evil, because back then we only knew good. So now you got to understand evil to be a proper ruler. And Israel is the ruler of the earth, starting with the men. Okay, so 15 verse. Now therefore, why disquietest thyself, seeing thou art by corruptible man? Why you why are you taking on so much for yourself, right? You a lot of the times you try to fix things on your own, and you got to understand that this environment that you're in it was set up to teach you a lesson. You're trying to fix all the problems. Why disquiet thyself? You're disquieting yourself, man. Trying to figure it out. The scriptures say, put off the mortal thoughts. Let the Lord handle these things. Okay. And why art thou moved? It's all part of the process. Why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Right now, you're in a mortal state. Eventually, you'll become immortal. Eventually, you'll know all things. But right now, Ezra, you're asking me all these questions, and you don't quite understand the answers, and I'm giving them to you. 16th verse. And why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things. but the ungodly shall perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide, for they have done wickedly and have suffered the straight, and yet shall not see the wide. And he said unto me, there is no judge above the Most High, and none that have understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High, which is set before them. For the Most High have given straight commandment to our people, straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. All right. So if the children of Israel will hearken, I will make them my inheritance again. For in the division of the whole nations of the whole earth, Sirach 17:17, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion. That's my portion, whom being his firstborn, he nourished with discipline. So you got to be taught discipline by your father, our father being the Most High, and his son. Through his son, we're taught discipline. And giving him the light of his love, he doth not forsake him. Therefore, all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways. Yes, because he watched for your soul, and he set up paths according to my own heart that shall feed you. Right? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. None of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him, but all their sins are before the Lord. But the Lord, being gracious and knowing his workmanship, neither left nor forsook them, but spared them. Yes, as a father spared his only begotten son. All right. The alms of a man is a signet with him, and he will keep the good deeds of man as the apple of the eye, and give repentance to his sons and to his daughters. Right? So the Lord will give repentance unto his sons and his daughters. Afterward, he will rise up and reward them. Prepare yourself. 2 Ezra 2:35. It says, be ready to the reward of the kingdom. Right? Afterward, he will rise up and reward them and render their recompense upon their heads. 2/3 of them that will not adhere. Let's get the word adhere. You got to adhere to the laws. You got to adhere to the principles. Scripture say the first principles or the oracles of the Most High. Well, when the Lord speaking through his word, the adherence to his word, man, which our people have long strayed away from throughout the ages, throughout the millennia. And that's why they've ended up in these conditions, as you see here. But the Lord is angry with them, and his wrath is not appeased until all the prophecies be fulfilled. Until all the prophecies be fulfilled, then his wrath is appeased. The Lord has to destroy 2/3. He has to bring in the microchip, which is the RFID, which is the mark of the beast, which the people will deny because they're disobedient children. They'll deny that that's the prophecy, being fulfilled, because they make void the law, which that's part of the Lord's word, that his microchip will have to be implemented as a trial on the earth for his children, the faithful. Adhere. It says to stick to like glue. So you adhere to the principles of the scriptures as a people. So that's your understanding in the sight of the nations. Let's get that. This shall be your understanding in the sight of the nations. Because that's what separates you. That's what makes you separate. The Lord said, be holy. Deuteronomy 4, right? Great chapter. Very great chapter. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, now therefore hearken, O Israel, and unto the statutes and to the judgments, which I will teach you to do them, that you may live, and go and possess the land which the Lord your fathers have given you. Yeah, because the Lord said, choose this day. I set life and death before you. Right. So whatever man liketh, that shall be given to him. Right. Second verse, ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught from it. If you add or take away, do your name be taken from the book of life, right? That ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your power, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that followed after Baal Peor, the Lord that power have destroyed them from amongst you. Yeah, for I'm a jealous power. You're my inheritance, and you're gonna do what I tell you. Because I created you to serve me. All right. 4th verse. But ye that did cleave unto the Most High, the God power of Israel, are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God have commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. Right. This word is your understanding and wisdom in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this is a great nation and is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who have the Most High Yahweh Bashim Shai, the creator of all things, so now unto them as the Lord our God is in all things which we call upon him for. Sirach 24, real quick, let's jump over there. 1st verse says, wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people, of her people. Okay, she has a particular people. Wisdom has a particular people, which is the Israelites. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. It says in Psalms 111, real quick, it says, the Most High judge amongst the gods, man, and the assembly of the congregation of the upright. Psalms 111 and 1, it says, praise ye the Lord. I will praise the Lord with my whole heart, and the assembly of the upright and the congregation. Right? I think is it 110? He judges amongst the gods. I think it's 110 or 113. The Most High, he judgeth amongst the gods. But that's Israel. That's Israel. Oh, he standeth in the Psalms 82. The Most High standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. Yeah, 82 and 1. Yep. So back in Sirach 24, it says, and 2, it says, in the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. 4th verse. Sirach 24 and 4. It says, I dwelt in high places, and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuit of heaven and walked in the bottom of the deep, and the waves of the sea and all the earth, and every people and nation I got a possession. All right. With all these I sought rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide? It says, so the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thine inheritance in Israel. Let thy tabernacle come to rest, and let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and let thine inheritance be in Israel. This is the spirit of wisdom speaking. All right. Sirach 24. Right. It says, the creator of all things gave wisdom a commandment and caused her to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thy inheritance in Israel. He created me from the beginning before the world, and I shall never fail. In the holy tabernacle I serve before him. Right. So when the Lord created wisdom, he created it before the world, and he set it up to be an inheritance to Israel. That's why he gave it only to Solomon and them, only to the prophets. Amos 3 and 7. I only gave my visions, my secrets to the servants of the prophets. I do nothing, but I give my secrets to my servants, the prophets. Hosea 12 and 10. All right. So on and so forth. 10th verse. In the holy tabernacle I served before him, so was I established in Zion. Likewise, in the beloved city he gave me rest, and in Jerusalem was my power. And I took I took root in an honorable people, even in the portion of the Lord's inheritance. Yeah, Israel is an honorable people, a noble people. Okay, let's get the word for noble. Get the word for noble. A noble people, noble. Yeah, because before the curses really hit you in America, and all that, you was a more cool people, before all this, before you fell away in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You were a pacifist people that had standards, and what I'm saying? You were planted as an honorable plant, noble. It says illustrious, noble, illustrious, distinguished. This is your understanding in the sight of nations. Deuteronomy 4 and 6, right? Distinguished, illustrious, of a high rank and noble birth. Well known, famous, renowned, excellent, superior, splendid, highborn, of a superior birth. literally knowable, recognizable. That's why it says Genesis 6. Genesis 6 says there was giants on the earth. That's talking about the Israelites, the Nephilim, the sons of men, the Most High, the angels. They said that they found that the daughters of men were fair, the other nation women, and they went in onto them and had children called the so-called Nephilim. Well, that's the Israelites, anyways, the seed line. Like Rui Hachimuri, like that guy would be considered. He would be considered a Nephilim because his dad went and had sex with an Ammonite woman. So out came Rui Hachimura, a 6'9" juggernaut of an athlete. You know, okay, they don't have athletes like that in Japan. But over here they got them because you got Jake that's running things over here. So that's why the Japanese wanted them black men to go over there and sleep with their women, so they could produce super athletes. You know. So, anyways, because they know that Jake is of a superior birth, us, Latino, Negro, Native American, we're of a superior athletic ability, intellectual capability, empathetic capability, reasoning, and so on and so forth. All right. The portion of Jacob's like them. Okay, excellent, superior, splendid, of a high birth. That's why Jake is the most creative people. The most creative people to create the internet. All right, that's been robbed from you, but ultimately, create everything. Basically, damn near everything that's useful on a planet. That's not has to do with a gun or some shit. These devils, all they create is weaponry and plagues and diseases. And damn sex toys and shit. That's what they create. Knowable. It says to come to know, well known. See, Jake is a well known seed throughout the earth. You know, well known for their wickedness right now, for being on the bottom, but they're known for being excellent as a people, of distinguished splendor. Everybody knows Usain Bolt. Everybody knows Jesse Owens. Everybody knows LeBron. Everybody knows Michael Jordan. Everybody knows these great men, these great conquerors in history. Achilles, that was a Jake. Okay, all the great people out there. Everybody know Jesus. Jesus was a Jake. All right, Israelite man. Okay, so-called Jesus. Noble. It says distinguished by splendor of magnificence, stateliness, regal condition. It says worthy of honor and respect. Jake is a people that's worthy of honor and respect. Not right now because the Most High put the curses on you, but in the time to come, you will have lofty character. It says having lofty character, having high moral qualities. Right. I planted you a noble vine, but thou become a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me. Right. Um, So it says, primitive man conceived of a morally superior to civilized men. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, yep, that's the definition of noble, noun version. It says man of rank. Yeah, the Most High's children are the most high rank in the spiritual realm and on the earth too, pretty soon. It says person of acknowledged social or political preeminence. Yep. A person of a rank above a commoner. All right. These other nations are commoners, man. Jake is the excellent of the earth, man. The excellency of the world is Jake, man. All right. Okay. I have seen princes walking on the ground, servants upon horses, man. This is a division that Job seen, man. I've seen servants walking upon the ground. I mean, in the book of Ecclesiastes. And I think it's Ecclesiastes. I think the 10th chapter. Yep, the 10th chapter. Okay, so Sirach 17 and verse 23, it says, I will reward them. It says, afterward he will rise up and reward them and render their recompense upon their heads. But unto them that repent and return, he granted them and comforted those that fail in patience. Return unto the Lord and forsake thy sins and make thy prayer before his face and offend less. Turn again to the Most High and turn away from iniquity, for he will lead thee out of darkness into the light of health, and hate thy abomination vehemently. All right. And who shall praise the Most High in the grave instead of him? Instead of them which live and give thanks. Thanksgiving, perishing from the dead, as from one that's not. That's why people are not thankful, because they're basically in a dead damn state. They don't thank the Most High. They thank Whitey. You know, It's talking about the actual dead, but our people are basically dead. So it says, as from one that is not, the living and sound and heart shall praise the Most High. How great is the loving kindness of the Lord our power, and his compassion unto such as turn unto him in holiness. For all the scriptures say, actually the people, they'll say, you could come to the Lord however you want. That's not true. It says right here that his compassion is unto such as turn unto him in holiness. Okay, you have to turn to the Lord in holiness, separate from the world, not how you want to come. For all things cannot be in men. That's why the Lord said you become a new creature. For all things cannot be in men, because the Son of Man is not immortal. What is brighter than the sun? Yet the light thereof faileth, and the flesh and blood will imagine evil. Flesh and blood will imagine evil. That's why you in the condition you're in now, and you have wicked thoughts and shit. You go off and go astray from your power because you're in the flesh. That's why Scripture say the just shall live by faith, not by sight. All right, sight is of the flesh. All right. You need to see. The flesh needs to see. You're in the dark. You need to see. You need to eat. You need to do. All these different things. But the flesh and blood, like the heathen, we weren't meant to be like the heathen. We were meant to be above them, superior of a high noble rank. All right. 32. It says, "He vieweth the power of the height of heaven, and all men are but earth and ashes." Right. And the Lord is not going to make us above men. All right. Above the mortal man, the heathen, basically. All right. You gods, we shall die like men. Psalms 82 and 5. Job 19 and 19. It says, all my inward friends, Job 19:19. It says, all my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. My bones cleaved to my skin, to my flesh, and I escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity upon me, O ye my friends, for the hand of the Most High have touched me. Okay, the hand of the Most High has touched our people, man, like it touched Job. And all your friends abhorred you, all your other nations, all your friends, all your lovers, all that loved you, turned their back on you, as a nation. All right. That's why the Lord said, go to them that go to your lovers for help. At a particular point, he was fed up with you. It says Jeremiah 10 and 10. It says, but the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Menashai, is the true God. He's the living God and an everlasting king. At his wrath, the earth shall tremble, and the nation shall not be able to abide his indignation. That's right. Fierce anger that he has because of what you did to his people. Because he's jealous over his people with godly jealousy. As he said through the Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. The 11th verse, Jeremiah 10 and 11. Thus shall ye say unto them, the gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens. He that hath made the earth by his power, he established the world by his wisdom, have stretched out the heavens by his discretion. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens. He causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightning with rain and bring forth the wind out of his treasure. Every man is brutish in his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there's no breath in them. They are vanity and the work of errors, and the time of their visitation they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. For the Lord of hosts is his name. All right, so the portion that Jacob is not like them. His inheritance is in the Israelites. So those of them who's going to come and inherit the kingdom. Matthew 25:34. The Lord said, come, inherit the kingdom. Blessed are my children, come, inherit the kingdom. Blessed are my Father, which the inherit thou the kingdom that was made for you from the beginning, or from the foundation of the world. As it says, so Deuteronomy 32 and 7, it says, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, he will show thee, thy elders, and they would tell thee, when the Most High divided the nations, their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel, for the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. He found him in the desert land and the waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, and he kept him as the apple of his eye. Yeah. He instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. You living in this life like a brute beast animal, smoking weed, eating whatever you want to eat, fulfilling the lust of the flesh, not being who you're supposed to be. All right. Before you come into this knowledge, understanding, this faith, this wisdom of the scriptures, you're basically like just a wild beast, wild bull in the net, man. You know, underneath your oppressors, worshiping other idols, other gods that do not exist. Right. That's why it says in Jeremiah 10, they're work of errors. Right. We just read it. Um, so it says Deuteronomy 32 and verse 12. It says, so the Lord did alone lead him, and there was no strange guide with him. And he made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. And he made him to suck honey out of rock and oil out of the flinty rock. Okay, butter of kin and milk of sheep with the lamb, fat of lambs and rams, of the bread of Bashan and goats, with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. But Jeshurun will wax fat and kicked. Thou art waxed fat, and thou art grown thick, and thou art covered with fatness. Therefore he forsook the Most High, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. And that's when you mess up as a people. When you lightly esteem the rock of your salvation, you take your God for granted. You know, you take your power for granted. You know, you get comfortable, and you provoke the Most High to jealousy with strange gods, where abominations provoke they him to anger. They sacrifice unto devils and not to the Most High. 17th verse. Yeah. So that's it. Psalms 47 and verse 2. For the Most High power is terrible. That's why you don't sacrifice to idols or anything like that. Because the Most High is terrible. He's a great king over all the earth. He will subdue the people under us and the nations under our feet. When the Most High destroyed these kingdoms, he did it so the earth will fear. The people will know that these people are protected by a true deity, a true God, a Alashaja, a demon-like power. To them, he's like a demon-like power, right? He burned up their block. He burned up their damn palaces, and he scourges their synagogues and all this shit. But onto us, he has healing in his wings. Okay, to the residue of his people, the remnant of his people. He will subdue the people under us and the nations under our feet. 4 verse. He will choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob, whom he loved. Jacob, the Most High has gone up with a shout, with the sound of a trumpet. 6 verse. Sing praise to the Most High. Sing praises unto our King. Sing praises. For the Most High is the King of all the earth. Sing ye praise with understanding. Done not like they do in the church. They hooping and hollering to the white Jesus and shit in the Baptist church, Methodist church, Pentecostal church. You know, 7 verse. Psalms 47 and 7. For the Most High is the King of all the earth. Sing ye praise with understanding. The Most High reigneth over the heathen. The Most High sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. The princes of the people are gathered together, even the people of the God of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong to the Most High, and he is greatly exalted. That's right. And he will defend us with them shields. He'll defend us with the Lord, whose right hand he stretched forth and gather his children from the four winds. Matthew 24. Psalm 78 and verse 52. But he made his own people to go forth like sheep and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. And he led them on safely so that they feared not, but the sea overwhelmed their enemies. It opened up and swallowed them. And he brought them to the border of his sanctuary, even to this mountain, which his right hand had purchased. His right hand being the Lord Yahushua, right? Right hand man. 55, it says, that's where we get that expression from. It says, he cast out the heathen also before them and divided them an inheritance by line and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. That's right. He cast out the heathen from before us and divided an inheritance by line. Everybody gets an inheritance. The white man got his, which was America and the fatness of the earth, because America has like 800, 900 bases, military bases all over the world, basically control the earth as an occupation. So the white man through America, Britain, and the Israeli Empire, which what they call the state of Israel, they control the world through these three big uh, nation states, which they also control Europe as well. But they have their inheritance. The Chinese have their inheritance. They had their little empire. They have the Chinese right there now. If you go over there to China, the Moabites, they got a nice little place over there, man. Shanghai. They got fucking 10 big cities that put these cracker American cities to shame. You know, with all their technological advancements, man. Shenxi, Beijing, all these different places. They got new infrastructure. America's infrastructure is falling apart. New York City, that shit's unsafe, man. Getting on the subway and all that shit. You go over there, they building all this shit brand new. All right, but anyways, everybody got an inheritance. Everybody gets a portion. The Most High gave everybody an inheritance by line. Look at the sand niggas over there, the Arabs, them camelback eating monkeys. They over there living good. They got nice little lands. They got a lot of oil, man. You know, fine little daughters. No curses under them. Nobody's dropping missiles on them. Shit like that. Only the ones that don't align with the white man. Like Iran or Afghanistan or shit like that. But whatever. But they still living good in Riyadh over there. They're living good in Dubai. They're living good in Oman. And better than you Jakes over here. That's for certain. That's for certain. That's for certain. It says, divided them in inheritance by line and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. Eventually, the Most High is going to make the tribes of Israel dwell in their tents, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latino. They're not going to hate each other, and they're going to dwell in their tents with each other and peaceably. 56th verse. Yet they tempted and provoked the Most High God and kept not his testimonies. Psalm 78:57. But turned back and dealt deceitfully with their father, like their fathers, and they were turned aside like a deceitful bow, for they provoked him to anger with their high places and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. And when the Most High heard this, he was wroth and greatly abhorred Israel, greatly put you away for a time being. So that he forsook the tabernacle of Shiloh and the tent which he placed amongst men. It says, and deliver his strength into captivity and his glory into the hands of the enemy. Yeah, this word abhorred to mean put away, put aside. Scripture says you shall not abhor Edomite, Deuteronomy 23:7. The word there should be Assyrian, which is one of your brothers that come from outside, from another country. All right, it doesn't say you shall abhor you got to love an Edomite. The Most High say you hate the other nations. You hate abomination vehemently. The white man is an abomination. Okay. Psalm 78 and verse 60. So that he forsook the tabernacle of Shiloh, the tent which he placed amongst men, and delivered his strength into captivity and his glory into the enemy's hands. Yeah. The Most High gave the glory into the hands of our enemies, man. Look at this. He gave his people over also unto the sword and was wroth with his inheritance, angry with his inheritance. The fire consumed their young men, and their maidens were not given to marriage. Yeah, your women, you got a bunch of single women out here, man, on the earth. You got a bunch of single women. Okay, you got your young men are dying quickly. They're being fired. I mean, they're getting shot by the cops. They're killing each other. So the fire is consuming the young men. Their priests fell by the sword. Right, you got few men, that they're teaching his word, and their widows made no lamentation. Your women are against you. Then the Lord awaked as one out of sleep, like a mighty man that shouteth by reason of wine, like an angry man. And he smote his enemies in the hinder parts, and he put them to a perpetual reproach. Deuteronomy 30:7. The curses that befell you shall befall your enemies. 6:7. Moreover, he refused the tabernacle of Joseph and chose not the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion, which he loved. And he built his sanctuary like palaces. He built his sanctuary like high palaces, like the earth which he established forever. And he chose David, also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds, from which the ewes great with the young, and he brought him to feed Jacob his people and Israel his inheritance. That's right. He's going to raise up King David and his men. The house of David shall be his guide, and your people shall be willing in the day of your power. Psalms 110:3. He brought him to feed Jacob his people and Israel his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, a man after the Most High's heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. The scripture say in Sirach 21:15, it says that if a skillful man hear a wise word, he will add on to it. All right. But when one of no understanding heareth it, they cast it behind him. So the white man cannot be a minister of the power or teach this word because look, he cast the word behind him. When one of us hear a skillful word, we add on to it because this was given to us to do so, not this white man devil. All right. The scripture says, "You shall not set up one of another nation over you, but one of thy brethren, only one of thy brethren." You know. So those men with skillful hands must guide according to the integrity of their heart, which ultimately is an Israelite, a chosen Israelite. Okay, not a pookie or a nigger. You know, not a deacon hakah. All right, man, just fucking with you. Second Ezra 8:15, it says, "Now therefore, Lord, will I speak touching man in general. Thou knowest best, but touching thy people, for whose sake I am sorry, and for thine inheritance, for whose cause I mourn, and for Israel, for whom I am heavy, and for Jacob, for whose sake I am troubled." Yeah, sometimes, bro, you find yourself in heaviness for your people, man. You don't even know why. Like yesterday, I was all fucked up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Yesterday, I was like, what the hell? I had like a low. I had feeling low in the spirit. I'm like, what the fuck is going? But it's really because of like the environment you're living in, you know, and like everything affects you, whether or not you know it. You know, that's why the scripture say you got put on the whole armor that you may withstand the wiles of the devil. You know, because he comes at you in many forms, right? You get put weird thoughts in your head and shit. So you become heavy for your people. Sometimes for your people, sometimes for yourself, sometimes for shit that's going on with you or whatever. But that's why the scripture say, all you that mourn in Zion, rest with us, right? For Israel, for whom I am heavy, and for Jacob, for whom sake I am troubled. Therefore, I will begin to pray before thee for myself and for them, for I see the fall of us that dwell in the land. But I have heard, the swiftness of the judge which is to come. I have heard the swiftness of the judge which is to come. Therefore, my voice and hear my voice and understand my words, and I shall speak before thee. This is the beginning of the words of Ezra before he was taken up. And I said, O Lord, that dwellest in everlastingness, which beholdest from above things in heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling, whose service is conversant in wind and fire, whose word is true and sayings constant, whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful, whoso look drieth up the depths. When the Most High look, he drive the depths. That's how powerful. And indignation maketh mountains to melt away, which the truth witnesseth. Or hear the prayer of thy servant and give ear to the petition of thy creature. For while I live, I will speak, and so long as I have understanding, I will answer. And oh, look not upon the sins of thy people, but on them which serve thee in truth. And regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen, but the desire of those that keep thy testimonies in affliction. Right. That's what the servants of the Lord did, man. They made intercession. They lifted up a prayer for their people, man. You know, hear the prayer of thy servant for the sins of thy people. Look not upon the sins of thy people, but on them which serve thee in truth. Regard not the wicked inventions of the heathen, but the desire of those that keep thy testimonies in affliction. Okay. The scripture says, Judges 5:11, and the place of drawing waters, there they shall rehearse the righteous acts, man. Okay. Sirach 24 and verse 10. Right. Again, back it says, oh, hold on, let me take this down. See, Sirach 24 and verse, oh, yeah, 10 verse. In the holy tabernacle I served before him, so was I established in Zion. This is the spirit of wisdom. Likewise, in the beloved city, he gave me rest, and in Jerusalem was my power. And I took root in an honorable people, even a portion of the Lord's inheritance. And I was exalted like a cedar in Lebanon, and as a cypress tree upon the mountains of Hermon. And I was exalted like a palm tree in Engedi, and as a rose plant in Jericho, as a fair olive tree in a pleasant field, and grew up as a plane tree by the water. And I gave a sweet smell like cinnamon, and faustus. And I yielded a pleasant odor like the best myrrh, as galbanum and onyx and sweet storax, and as the fume of frankincense in the tabernacle. It has wisdom. That's a sacrifice that the Lord accept, right? Those are smells that the Lord accept. And as a turpentine tree, I stretched out my branches, and my branches are the branches of honor and grace. And these branches are being grafted back in through the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of His word. As it says in Romans the 11th chapter, if boast not against the branches, lest ye have to bear the root, which is the Lord Yahushua. It says, as the vine, I brought forth pleasant savor, and my flowers are the fruits of honor and riches. I am the mother of fair love and fear, knowledge, and holy hope. I therefore, being eternal, am given to all my children which are named of Him. All them that are written in the book of life. That's where that's why you can understand these scriptures. That's why you can get to understand. That's why you can get the faith. Because I'm given to all my children which are named of Him. The Lord knows them that are His, right? It says 19 verse, Sirach 24:19. Come unto me, all ye that be desirous of me, and fill yourselves with my fruits. And for my memorial sweeter than honey, and mine inheritance than the honeycomb. They shall eat me yet be thirsty. So they that eat me shall yet be hungry, and they that drink me shall yet be thirsty. He that obeyeth me shall never be confounded, and they that work by me shall never do amiss. That's why when the Lord came on the scene, He made the statement: if you drink of this of water, if a man drink of this water, I shall give him, shall never thirst. And if he shall eat this bread, he shall never hunger. 23rd verse. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregation of Jacob. Faint not to be strong in the Lord, that He may confirm you. All right. Faint not to be strong in the Lord, no matter what happens. Okay. The spirit of wisdom forsake you, man. If you one of His men, you one of his him that He knows by name, man. Not one of your hairs shall perish. Not one hair on your head shall perish, man. Okay, because you're in the Lord's hand. No man can pluck you out of the Father's hand, no matter what happens, man. Faint not to be strong in the Lord, man. That He may what? Confirm you. The Most High got to confirm you. Cleave unto Him. For the Lord Yahweh Shemashai is power alone, and besides Him, there's no other Savior. Nobody else can save you, man. All right? He filleth all things with His wisdom, as Phison is Tigris in the time of the new fruits. He maketh the understanding to abound like the Euphrates. Sirach 7, no, John 7:38, my bad. If he that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, man. He make your understanding to abound like the Euphrates River, man. And as Jordan in the time of the harvest, meaning you're gonna grow bountifully. He maketh the doctrine of knowledge appear as the light, and as Gion in the time of vintage. All right. And it's Isaiah 32, it speaks about the vintage failing. All right. Tremble, you women that are Eve, right? For the vintage shall fail, right? Your goodies, well, your doctrine, the doctrine of the Lord is going to appear as the light, understanding, knowledge. This is going to be your understanding in the sight of the nations, Deuteronomy 4:6, right? And as Gion in the time of vintage, 28 verse. The first man knew her not perfectly, no more shall the last man find her out. For her thoughts are more than the sea, and her counsels profounder than the great deep. Now, the spirit of wisdom is likened unto a woman because she's delicate and beautiful, not because the Lord is a feminine spirit. Because it says in Job 39:17 that the woman wasn't given understanding. Why? Why is that being said? Was the Lord contradicting Himself? No, it's just a parabolic way of Him speaking. Okay, so it says her thoughts are more than the sea, and her counsels profounder than the great deep. Go to one of these broads out here and try to get some counsel from her. You're gonna see what kind of counsel you get. It's not talking about a female. It's talking about a beautiful spirit, delicate like a woman, like it should be, right? So 30th verse. I also came out as a brook from a river, as a conduit into a garden. I said, I will water my best garden, and I will water abundantly my garden bed. And lo, my brook became a river, and my river became a sea. And I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send her light afar off. And I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. That's right. It's the Lord told Ezra, seek out the glory for them that be like thyself, for them that be like unto thee. Right. This says to 14:5. It says, "From my youth up I have heard that in the tribe of my family that thou, O Lord, tookest Israel from amongst all people, and our fathers from their predecessors, for a perpetual inheritance, a never-ending inheritance, age upon age. And thou hast performed whatsoever thou didst promise them. And now we have sinned before thee. Therefore thou hast given us into the hands of our enemies, because we worshipped their gods, O Lord, thou art righteous. Nevertheless, it satisfied them not that we are in bitter captivity, but they have stricken hands with their idols. They will abolish the thing that thou with thy mouth has ordained, and destroy thine inheritance, and stop the mouth of them that praise thee, and quench the glory of thy house and of thy altar. Open the mouths of the heathen to set forth the praises of idols, and to magnify a fleshly king forever. O Lord, give not thy scepter unto them that be nothing, and let them not laugh at our fall." But because that's what they did in Ezekiel the 36th chapter, the second verse on down. They laugh at they said, "Aha, ha, ancient high places are ours in possession." They're laughing. Let them not laugh at our fall, but turn their device upon themselves, and make him an example that hath begun this against us. Remember, O Lord, and make thyself known in the time of our affliction, and give me boldness, O King of nations, Lord of all the power. All right. And give me eloquent speech in my mouth before the lion. Turn his heart to hate him that fighteth against us, that there may be an end of him, and all that are like minded unto him. But deliver us with thy hand, and help me that I'm desolate, which have no other helper but thee. And thou knowest all things, O Lord. Thou knowest that I hate the glory of the unrighteous, and abhor the bed of the uncircumcised, and of all the heathen. And thou knowest my necessity. You know what I need. For I abhor the sign of my high estate, which is upon my head, and the days wherein I show myself, that I abhor it as a minstrel's rag, that I wear it not as when I am private by myself. Okay. Because that's how you should feel about in this captivity. You take this goddamn world off. You know what I'm saying? When you gotta you gotta live in this world. That's why John, in the book of John 17, the Lord prayed that that the Lord should keep us from the world, even though we're in the world. That He should keep us, man. Ezekiel 36 and verse um actually Ezekiel 20 real quick. Is Ezekiel 20, and I'll leave it there. Ezekiel 20 and 40. For in my holy mountain, 20 and 40. For my holy mountain and the mountain of the height of Israel, said the Lord power, there shall all the house of Israel, all of them in the land, serve me. There will I accept them, and there will I require your offerings, and the first fruits of your oblations with all your holy things. I will accept you with your sweet savor when I bring you out from the people, and gather you out the countries wherein ye have been scattered, and I will be sanctified in you before the heathen. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, when I shall bring you into the land of Israel, and into the country for the which I lifted up my hand to give it to your fathers. There ye shall remember your ways and all your doings, wherein ye have been defiled, and ye shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for all the evils which you have committed. It says, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, when I have wrought with you for my name's sake, not according to your wicked ways, nor according to your corrupt doings, O house of Israel. All right. So with that, a call I'm like Hawa by Shem Yashai by Shem Kagodash. At the bonds to the apostle of the great millstone, where we learn this truth and peace. And salutations to the elect. Shalom.